It's September 16th, Monday morning. It's the last day of this challenge. Let's see what the damage is. Well, at this point, it doesn't look like I'm on track to complete my original goal of getting down to 194. I'm not quite pacing out. I've only got 2 days left on this challenge and the data doesn't support me getting there. It is what it is. Today is Sunday. I'm going to be going over some of the things that I think kind of went wrong in this challenge and then what I'll be doing going forward. As a recap, if you're just joining for the first time, over the past 2 weeks, I've been doing a bacon mini cut, which is a diet that I put together. Somewhere around here, you can right click and open a new tab. You can watch the videos of me explaining how all of this works, or you can wait to the end of the video. I'll have it linked there as well. So the bacon mini cut, I'm basically doing 2 pounds of bacon per day, 400-ish calories of some sort of protein source beyond bacon, and then I'm having fruit on top of that, around 200 calories per day. The target goal is to be somewhere between 1900 and 2100 calories per day. Everything actually was fine through the week. A lot of the times I was able to stick to this. There's just a few things that were going on that kind of made this challenge not work out quite as well as I wanted to. The good news is the people following this in my Discord are actually losing weight pretty steadily. So for them, things are working out great. I'm just sharing my own personal results. I like to be honest with you guys, tell you what's going on. So first and foremost, the timing wasn't really that great. My posting schedule here on YouTube is I post all of my long form videos on a Monday. Well, Labor Day being on a Monday, that meant this challenge started on a Tuesday. I have 2 days left. Right now it's Sunday night. Ideally, I would be done with the challenge tomorrow morning and I could show you guys the final results then. Truth of the matter is, I won't have the final results until Tuesday morning, but I can already tell you guys, I'm not gonna hit it. 2 days is not enough time to make a difference at this point. Going forward in the future, I probably wouldn't want to start another food challenge on a Tuesday. I'd probably want to start it on a Sunday. That way I can actually have the challenge done by the time I go to post the video. Again, it was Labor Day, what can you do? Now the next part where I think all this went wrong, I have a friend in town, we've got a wedding coming up. He's been staying at my place the past couple of days. I had to make an executive decision. My friend doesn't live in the US anymore. He lives out of the country, so it's not like we're able to hang out all the time. Do I stay in the food challenge or do I go out to the restaurants that we had planned, go and do all the different fun things? He's only in town for 2 weeks. So we went to a number of nice restaurants over the weekend, and wouldn't you know it, I'm holding a little bit of water today. I was losing weight all the way through the weeks, but unfortunately I don't have the footage of that. I got down to 195 at the lightest. As you can see, water weight's through the roof. There's not a lot I can do about that now. Despite all that, I do actually think I was losing weight steadily through the week. I didn't get to the weight goal that I wanted of 194. I only briefly touched it for a little bit. Now, as you can see with the water weight on top, it seems like really all I did was plateau. I didn't gain weight, I didn't lose weight. The next important detail, and I think this one is probably the biggest reason, I have a marathon in 4 weeks, and I've been really training hard for this thing. Unfortunately, the keto diet, it just doesn't really work that well for athletic performance. I did my best to mitigate some of this, but what was going on was during my weekly runs, I was having a really hard time getting the energy to finish, and oftentimes what that meant was that I had to sneak a little bit more carbs in before my runs, and then on the weekends, I had to do a carb load to get through my long runs. Running 20 miles in ketosis, maybe it's possible for some people, but me personally, I just can't do it. So I did have a carb load. I think this did throw off some of my weight loss. The truth of the matter is, as great as running is, and it does burn calories, the amount of effort you need to complete long distance running, usually you have to eat back those calories just to be able to recover properly. I think if the volume of my exercise was smaller, as in I was running less, I do actually think it would be easier to stick to keto. If I was doing daily runs of maybe 3 miles instead of 5 or 6, I could probably stay in ketosis then, and that would help accelerate the fat loss. But because the goal is to actually complete a marathon, I do need to be able to maintain my mileage, and also it can't have a pitiful pace every single time I train, especially with the marathon only 4 weeks away. Now, a final note, I've done a video on this on the past, but I really do think keto is incredible for people that are on the heavier side. If you're 20% body fat or higher, I think the keto diet is going to be the best diet to get you losing weight. Primarily because, one, it takes the hunger away, but when you're that heavy, the truth of the matter is you don't actually need to be doing that much cardio yet. What does end up happening is as you get leaner, around the 15% body fat mark, things do become a little bit more difficult and the variables change. The reason for that is because your body's metabolic rate gets so low low that maintenance calories might only be somewhere between 17 and 1800, which means to be in a calorie deficit, you'd have to go as low as like 12 or 1300 calories. Everybody can agree that's not good, that's way too low. So what you do is introduce cardio so that you can increase your calorie expenditure, but then you kind of also need some energy to be able to do the cardio in the first place. So it's a delicate balance. You actually do need to add a little bit more calories so that you can output more through cardio. Keto's not necessarily the best option for that because keto doesn't necessarily convert to high performance energy that well. Carbohydrates do actually come in handy the leaner you get because you're going to have to do a lot of cardio to get extra lean. For me, the goal was to dip into the single digit body fat percentages. I'm maybe around 12 or 13% right now. I'd have to lose about 5 pounds of fat to crack into that 9% body fat range. I think I can get there, but I'd probably have to wait until after the marathon is over for that to be realistic. So I want to talk briefly about what I will do going forward to make something like this possible. By the way, I can't mention enough, the people in the Discord running the diet, they've been doing excellent all week. I've kept in touch with them and they are losing weight, which is awesome. For me personally, what I would do differently, first and foremost, I would not put the challenge starting on a Tuesday. Ideally, I'd like to have it start Sunday morning. It'd be so much easier to track, especially with, doing weigh-ins and such on a Monday morning after a Sunday. The weight is always just a little bit higher. So it's hard to get really good data and it's hard to show some of that progress when, you're weighing in on like a Monday or a Tuesday. And in this case, it's a Sunday night. It just doesn't work well with my posting schedule. So that'd be the first thing I would change. Next thing, I would probably pull back a little bit on my own personal cardio if I was going to maintain keto. Or I have to make the decision to actually not do keto at all and instead do a more high carbohydrate focused diet, which I can show you guys that in a future video, but there is a way to also get incredibly lean using what I call the volume diet. The volume diet is very high protein, very high in fiber, moderate in carbohydrates, and it's actually extremely low in fat. I've said it before and I'll say it again, dieting is like a Swiss Army knife. There are different diets for different goals and there's also different strategies. Multiple different strategies can work, and depending on your own personal needs, you may have to switch from one diet to another from time to time. I like to say one size fits all, but as you become more specialized in certain activities, that becomes less and less true. For the general population, I still really strongly believe that keto is the best option for the average person trying to lose weight. For me, given my own circumstances and my own fitness level, I do think that I might have to readjust and try a few different things to see if I can crack back into that 9% that I was originally targeting. So we're gonna finish out the week. Tomorrow is Monday. I'm gonna be having my bacon again. Tuesday I'll have bacon as well. Then the challenge will be complete. We'll see what I weigh. It's not gonna be 194 like I wanted, but we're gonna at least try for the best, see where it goes, and then we're gonna retool. I got this marathon coming up. I've got to take the last few weeks of training seriously. With that, guys, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want to get caught up on the bacon diet, check out these other videos right here. This will help you get started. And as always, guys, I've been Andrew Fillion. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.